y'all. Grease is the word. Word that you heard. It's got groove. It's got meaning.
Hello, everyone, to another fantastic Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Everybody had a good weekend. Man, I feel like I've been busy personally and gig wise. So to me, it's all good. What do they say? Always, if you stay busy, it keeps you out of trouble. At least that's what my parents used to say. So we'll go with it. So welcome, everybody. Those of you who are here, those of you who are listening to the replay, I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me tonight or listening, however you are doing it. It will be broadcast tomorrow on podcast at 9 a.m. But speaking of podcast, if you guys haven't checked out the Gig Economy podcast, I strongly suggest to. It's always a good time listening to Jason and the crew over with the Gig Economy podcast. But okay, so tonight, oh man, I feel like we have to me, I think we have a really good episode for you guys. So is it possible to use DoorDash to make your multi-apping goals? And I am going to just start off by saying, because I am going to show you some of my own personal numbers. It is not to brag. I get that a lot, but it's not to brag. It really is to show my multi-apping week, talk about my multi-apping week, how I achieved it. There will be many drivers who do more than me. There will be many drivers who don't do more than me, and it's perfectly okay. I just wanted to come out here tonight and really show the possibilities of multi-apping and what it could do for you as a driver, whether you're full-time like myself, or even if you are part-time, and really making the apps work for you. So before we even get really into the topic tonight, just want to say hi to everyone real quick. Hey, Steve, what's going on? Becky, how are you? Christopher Taylor, how are you? Thomas, Bubba, Sue, Anthony, and I think, did I miss anybody? Oh, Sheila, how are you? Welcome. Hey, delivering with Carrie. And I think I actually got caught up with everybody. So welcome. Okay, so before I even start, you know, I feel like I want to go in like 5,000 different directions, at least in my mind. I do. You know, there are many drivers, even many YouTubers out there who say, DoorDash is dead. And, has DoorDash changed? Absolutely. DoorDash for me has changed for me as well. I'm not immune to anything that's going on to DoorDash whatsoever. However, it's still a very viable and a main source for me in making money. So, with that being said, I don't do this very often, but I am going to actually share my DoorDash week with you, because I always say there is money to be made in this gig economy. A lot of times you need to find out where the money is and also how to work a lot of these apps. And I really think, God, over the years, DoorDash, I feel like keeps us on our toes, right? I think when as dashers, we get to know something and we get familiar with it and we start to make money with it. I feel like DoorDash goes, stop. And then they change something altogether, whether it's the algorithm, whether it's programs. Like, they always do something, in my opinion, to mess with dashers' money and mess with your mind a little bit too. So a lot of times I spend my door dashing hours really trying to figure out what makes them tick so that way I can adjust the way that I dash and in turn make money. And I feel like I finally found a good combination. I'm not going to go into every detail about DoorDash because that would just be boring, but I feel like I finally found the right combo and what DoorDash is kind of doing with that. But just because I am showing DoorDash doesn't mean that I didn't work apps last week. And that's what this is all about. It really is about multi-apping. And before I even do that, so just a refresher, if you've been with me for a while, you already know this. If you are new here, you might not know this. So my goal every single week is to make $1,000 to $2,000. $1,000 is my like literally my bare minimum. And my goal is 1,000 to $2,000 every single week. That's what I set out to do, and that's what I set out to do. So tell me real quick. Just tell me what your goals are personally. You guys can chime in on this as well. But mine is usually 1,000 to $2,000. And to me, you should always know, in my opinion, what your absolute minimum is so that way I don't know what everybody's bill situation is or everybody's financial situation. Only you know that, but I always know what my bare minimum to do is. So go ahead, let me know what your goals usually are in this fantastic gig economy, whether it's single app or whether it's multi-apping. So that's usually my goal. Now, what I really want to kind of drive home for this. And this could be anybody in anybody's market, right? So pick your main app, right? The app that makes you the most amount of money. It could be Uber Eats, it could be Grubhub, it could be Instacart, it could be a catering app. It could be there's so many different variations, but when you think of like that main app, when you multi-app, you have multiple streams of income coming in, right? And that's what my week really was last week. So I know I changed the thumbnail a little on the late side, but if you look at the thumbnail, those are literally every app that I worked the last week. So I worked DoorDash, I worked Uber Eats, I worked Grubhub, I worked Instacart. I'm like, what else did I work? I worked all my catering apps. I did deliver that. I did delivered. I did cartwheel. I feel like I'm missing so much more. But anyway, so because of these multiple streams of income, this is how I really achieved my week last week. And, I'm not going to show every single app that I worked because, God, that would have taken me forever in a day to try to formulate that. But we're going to talk about DoorDash. Before we do that, okay, so Anthony, yours is 350 to 400 a week and you're part-time. Thomas, you're 800 to 1500 a week, you're full-time. Carrie, you're 250 to 300 a week part-time. That's awesome. Bubba Sue, you're part-time, $500 a week. You multi-app, you shoot for a $200 a week. That's awesome. And then Carrie, you said you get the most from Uber Eats. That's amazing. Melissa, I barely started working full time, so my goal is $100 whenever what day they give me. That's awesome. Um, and Kim, you need to do more apps. Yeah, if there's any more apps to be had, I will be more than happy to try them out. I always, you never know how any of these apps are going to produce, and you never know what they can bring to the table and what they can bring into your pockets. I always say that, right? I feel like I'm gonna mess up your name, so I apologize. Uh, Eluv, did I say that right? 11, 400 to 1500 a week part time. That's awesome. And then Josh, minimum is 1K. I don't work weekends or dinner. I work 32 to 36 hours, and I do work some. I work weekends. I haven't been working during the day on weekends just because I've been spending it's like family time for me. So I really have been, spending good quality time with the family. But I have been working weekend nights. But I don't work more than 40 hours a week. That's usually my high end is 40 hours a week. I do my 40 hours, and usually I'm good to achieve whatever that I need to do. So, okay. So, with that being said, okay, this was my DoorDash week last week. So, when there are drivers who say, um, it's 40 hours total, Bubba Sue. 40 hours total. So what is that considered? I always get the confused active dash. So that's dash time, not active time. So 40 hours. Um, so there are many skeptics out there. There are many people who say, $1,000 a week are done. You can't do it any longer. Um, this is an average for a little while. This is usually what I'm close to doing on the DoorDash platform. Have I done in the past $1,500 weeks? Absolutely. I used to do $1,500 weeks, $1,600 weeks, and that's without adding any of my other apps into the mix. But now times are changing, right? So you have to unfortunately adapt to whatever DoorDash is adapting to at this point. Who knows? What I, sorry, what I find interesting about this, a lot of times, and this is how you know DoorDash is changing because the large order program never went away. It is still there. The thing that I've learned is DoorDash has completely changed the program altogether. And it's interesting. The base pay to tip was never like this a couple weeks ago. So it was literally learning a whole new way of dashing these past like 2 or 3 weeks, even the past month. So yeah, it's really interesting. So it looks like earn by time and earn bar offer hybrid week looks like, it was. And what this is what I've come to conclusion, at least in my market. And guys, when I talk about myself, I really talk about my own experience in my own market. So when I say I deliver in New Jersey, I literally deliver in New Jersey. So this is kind of what I did. I did do a hybrid week with DoorDash last week. Um, I didn't just do all earn by time. I just didn't do all earn per offer. I literally did a hybrid of doing both of them depending on what was going on, slow times versus busy times. And I really played with both of the programs. And this is the thing. And I know a lot of you guys are not going to agree with this, and it's perfectly fine. You guys can disagree with this all you want. Is I didn't cherry pick. I think that's the bottom. I think, unfortunately, that's the thing. And what really happened is wherever the order is, that's where I went. I never limited myself to where DoorDash was taking me last week. There was literally no I hate to say there was no dash time versus active time because I was always when I worked DoorDash, I was always active on DoorDash. If it sent me I'm making this up 10 miles away, I kept it on. And if I got an order 10 miles away, I just kept going. And when I say I worked New Jersey last week, I worked New Jersey last week. And a lot of it had to do with zone hopping and just going wherever the orders led me to and where I kind of went. Whether this is the secret to the new DoorDash and what's going on, I have no idea, but that's what it is. And I was in constant motion before I did this, probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. the reason why I knew I had to change the way I work DoorDash because there was a Friday night I sat for like 10 minutes, sat for 20 minutes, sat for on a Friday night, not being able to get any orders. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And that's kind of when the light bulbs went off. And I'm like, I knew DoorDash was changing. I just didn't know how drastically they were changing and how I needed to change myself as a driver and as a dasher in order to make money. And this is this is the next thing. So before I move into the next thing, I saw a couple people come in, but hey, Kevin, how are you? I don't think I said hello to you. Um, so anyway, so that is kind of my week. And before anybody asks, um, hold on, let me go into the next screenshot. Before I went on this live, this is my screenshot as of my last hour that I worked. So this is my current stats. You can tell it's me because of the 12,000 deliveries. So this is my current thing. But the thing is, I just get asked this a lot. That's why I put this in here. But this is the thing. DoorDash was not my only source of income last week. As good as this looks, and I'm pretty sure there are some of you who are saying I can do better than that, and that's fantastic. Congratulations. It's not meant to be a competition. It's really meant to inspire and motivate. But the thing is catering was a big part of my week last week, and I took you guys along with me for some of the catering orders I did last week. So, you know, whether the catering happened in the morning or whether it happened in the afternoon, I mean, there was one day last week, I did $110 before I even started. I think that was like last Tuesday. So, catering was a big chunk of my money last week. And, I'm going to talk about catering just for just for a little bit. And hey, Chris, how are you? Um, if you like pre-scheduled and knowing what your money is going to look like and how to pre-plan your day before catering is such an easy way to do that. And I'm going to skip along just for 1 second. It is guaranteed. It's guaranteed money. Okay, so before we move on, so this was just my one of my catering apps last week. Not include so the I worked the three that I did last week. I did cartwheel, I did delivered, and I did delivered that last week. This was just one of them. Like I said, I am not going to bore you with all the details of all the apps that I work, but I just wanted to show you the potential of this. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, this is my tomorrow. So this is guaranteed money going into tomorrow before I even go into my lunch shift. So if you look at this is right here. So I'm starting the morning with a $30 delivered. And then I'm going to turn around and do my next order at 10:09 a.m. And that's going to be $50. So before the delivery is done, which the delivery time is 11:45, so before 12 o'clock tomorrow, I will have in $80. So I already know how my day is going to look tomorrow. And I think that's to me what has been really helping me. Like I'm able to plan, right? Like when you do pre scheduled and guaranteed money, like you know how to plan out your day. Like I know tomorrow, like I have a couple of choices. I can either, and my husband's willing to do this. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him about this. So, honey, if you're watching, surprise. But I can either get up really early tomorrow morning and start my day at like 6 or 7 o'clock, um, which I know my husband's probably like cringing right now, but I can start my day early and get a couple of orders in before I even start that first one. And then I might even have in 100 to $120 before I start the lunch rush, get through lunch rush. There's a very good chance before I even end lunch, I might even have in my $200 goal. So I can work it that way. I can sleep in. If you're a sleep in person, you can sleep in until the time and then go and do your dinner rush. Like there's just so many opportunities out there. And I think that's kind of my biggest message that I wanted to get across. There are so many ways of making money. You just need to work. First of all, you need to work and you need to really go out and find that money that works for you in your area. For me, it's been catering, it's been DoorDash. And like I said, I had earnings on Uber Eats, I had earnings on Grubhub, I had earnings on Instacart. Let's talk about Instacart for half a second because I haven't forgotten about Instacart. Instacart for me has been really good when I have those down moments. I always keep it on in the background just in case there's like a really good, like $40 batch, $30 batch. Put everything on pause and then go over to Instacart. There's just so many different ways of working these apps that to me, the potential is endless. So when you think that times are slow, and for some cases, times are slow, and I get it. There are ways if you open your mind up to different apps, to ways of multi-apping, and believe me, I personally know fantastic drivers that just single app on DoorDash and they kill it. And, hats off to those who can do that and those who go out and do the hustle and do the grind and can work 14, 16 hours a day. Like I can't do that. That's my I'm a mom. I can't do that. I wish I could do that. If I could do that, God, how much more money could I be making? But I can't do that. Like I have to find that family work life balance. And that's kind of what I've learned over, the past couple of years. Like, how do you make your money? How do you still find time for yourself? How do you do your family life in there as well? And that's one thing that I've personally have worked on myself over the past like year to 2 years and really taking taking the time to enjoy the simple things in life. Well, they're not simple, they're my family. So to me, they're the biggest things in my life. um, Thank you. Uh, So, Sheila, you love it when you're able to start the day with a catering order. Nice. You have a $43 delivered tomorrow morning. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like you can, like, you almost have control, right? You have control over the day and you have control over what type of money and what type of apps you're going to work that day as well, which is what I've really have been enjoying doing some of these catering apps. And, I wish I could answer that for you. Like I said, I got invited. Um I wish I had better I wish I had better news for you, and I don't. I had the in. I don't know what else to say besides that. But they've been very between delivered and all my apps, they've been working really well for me, and they've been really killing it for me lately. On top of going out and doing the grind with DoorDash and all of these other apps that I have. So, hey, Red, how are you? Um, so Becky, you've been enjoying catering and Instacart. My goals each week are basically to make as much money while the kids are in school as possible, plus Sundays now that I've been doing Instacart. Instacart is amazing on Sundays if you're willing to push through the crowds of whatever grocery store you're going to. But I'm really glad that that's really where you've been killing it. You're already a platinum on Instacart, I can't really say the same. So, like I said, I feel like sometimes, even though I've been working these apps, I really have been focusing on trying to make DoorDash work and kind of what makes them tick. You do? I would have never guessed that, Red. I'm just kidding with you. um, but yeah. So you're gonna look into shipped orders this week. You have mixed feelings. I Christopher kills it on Shipt. He if you have any questions, sorry, Christopher, I'm totally calling you out on this one. And also Ryan, I don't think Ryan's here, but Christopher is like the Shipt like king. He knows everything about Shipt. I'm gonna leave my personal feelings about Shipt out of it, but you know what? If it's gonna make you money, go for it. Yeah, we'll get into I'll try to get into that, Christopher. But so Christopher sent me an article today that I think I mentioned it on Thursday that there was a driver, DoorDash driver that went missing. And the only thing that they said is surprise, he was found, and no details surrounding his return to his family. But the good news is he was found, but no news how he was found, but he's back. Scheduling money is easy money. It is so easy money. So, if you guys, and I know some of you guys are part-time and don't have like daytime availability, but if you do, it just might be something that you might actually look into if it's something viable for you. Don't worry, Bubba Sue. I see $20 delivered deliveries too. The way I look at it, and I feel like I'm gonna talk Bud Soda talk. Hi, Bud Soda, by the way. Bud Soda talk for a while. I've been learning how long each catering order is going to take. And I don't want to use the word stacking because I don't think that's the right terminology for catering, but I have learned the timing of catering and if I can take an order before or after in order to make that $20 work for you. Like I did a $20 order this morning, knowing that I had a $60 order this afternoon. So, all said and done, I was leaving catering this afternoon with $80 to start my day if I didn't do anything before I even started lunch. You did a $30 Aldi triple. Oof. That's how many come on, be honest, how many units? So the thing with Aldi with me, I cannot get an Aldi that actually pays worth the amount of units that they actually want you to shop in my area. Like Aldi units I've seen are like ridiculous. And I think Red, you like Aldi too. I can't get like Aldi's for under like 75 units. And I just look at them and go, you are crazy if you want me to shop 75 units for like $12. Sorry, not happening. Anyway, that's that's my Aldi speech. But anyway, so I know you like Aldi. See, Aldi just does not work for me. For whatever reason, it's just I can't get it to work for me in my area. And I know, but soda, you love it. I know Red loves it. I just every order that has ever come through, whether it is Instacart or even DoorDash, it's been like ridiculous units for like $10, $12, and I'm like, heck no, not gonna happen. Nice. I love that. I had 2 deliver that today, $75. See, that's what I'm talking about, right? Uh, it's amazing. It's amazing when you can start your day knowing what's going on. It's amazing that you can start your day knowing that I'm gonna get X amount of dollars, but unfortunately, sorry, Becky. You got one canceled on you last week for $70 and we were commiserating in your in your misery because when you're already have like in your mind, oh my God, I'm going to make $70, it's already pre-planned and pre-scheduled and it's taken away from you. Like that's the kind of the downside because it definitely could happen. But yeah, so multi-app, right? I just think, and I've said this since I feel like I started this channel. Like I've said this for absolutely years now. Multi-apping is just it's the way to go. Is multi-apping the same way that it was years ago that you just turned everything on and pick through the best orders to get whatever you wanted? I thought those days are unfortunately, I think are long gone. Can you multi-app with some food delivery? Yes. But I think multi-apping has now become multi-niching to the point where you need to know what apps work best during what times of the week and then having multiple streams of income. When I think of multi-apping, I think of multiple streams of income coming in and I think of okay, how am I going to work different apps today because every single day is different. There is never 2 days that are ever alike, and I feel like the very strange thing about all of this is I came from retail, which there was never 2 days that were ever alike, and now I am, doing food. I'm doing the gig economy, which it definitely is. There are no days ever the same. The money is never the same. But to me, the fun of it now is really putting the pieces of the puzzle together to really figure out how I'm going to make my goals, can I exceed my goals, and what's going to get me to my goals? What apps am I going to use to get me to my goals? And how am I going to stay out the least amount of time to make the most amount of money? That has always been my goal. My goal has always been let's go out and make like a killing in the least amount of time as possible, whatever means or whatever app that means possible. So, yeah. And that's the thing too, at least for me. And I think I said this last week, is the more, just like the food delivery, right? The more you work these apps, the more I don't want to say generate, I don't think that's the right word. The more they see that you are a worker, the more they see that, oh, this person is here to take orders, the more orders they're going to send your way. And sometimes some of the bigger orders to send the way. The same thing I've learned with a lot of these catering apps. The more you work these catering apps, the more they see that you're loyal. Loyal, I think, is the right word I'm trying to find. The more loyal you are to some of these apps and the bigger orders you start to see. And I think that's how you start to gain a lot of money on some of these apps that a lot of us, including myself, are, just starting. Deliver that out of the 3 is probably the slowest one in my market. I was, joking with someone the other day. I said, "By the time I get to elite level, like, I think my daughter will be in high school it will be graduating high school just because it's not one of my highest or my most producing apps in this area." So oh, we were just talking about Ship, Eric. Well, congratulations on getting into Shipped. I think you should try it. I don't want to give you my opinions on it because I don't want my opinions to affect how you like it or don't like it. Um, but I'm going to say it again. Christopher is here, who is a fantastic ship person. So you guys should connect and see whether he can help you out with a couple of things, but um, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that on the positive note. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I Christopher loves Shipped, and there's a couple people here who absolutely love Shipped. I just might not be the best person that absolutely loves Shipped. Okay, so So you started Spark in late 21 and quickly dropped everything and made $700 24 hours, literally making half these days. Hope new terms of service. I hope something helps out with that. There are some people who are saying that Spark is bouncing back. I don't um I don't know. I did turn it on last week just to see if I can at least get one order. Granted, I probably didn't give it a fair enough shot, but nothing came on in the couple of round robins that I did turn it on for. Granted, I wasn't sitting in the Walmart parking lot, so that could be it, but I haven't noticed a difference yet. So I don't know. Time will tell, I guess. So you believe that about all the apps the algorithm learns you and they will send you things. Yeah, I think a lot of these companies, the more you work them, the more money you make, right? They know that you're a dedicated driver. They know that they can trust you to deliver orders. I think catering to me is more specialized, right? You have to give fantastic customer service. It's not just like one of those food delivery apps that you can pick it up, go to the customer's house, drop it off, and take a picture and walk out. Like you have to interact with people. A lot of times they're very specific on the setups that they want. Like today, sorry, hold on for 1 second, guys. Oh, there it goes. Like today, I walked in and I had to set up a whole, taco bar, and because it was Taco Tuesday, and the person was very specific on what order they wanted each item. They even opened up everything. Like they were very specific on even like the silverware that they wanted to use. But I was happy go lucky the entire time and, follow directions. But like there's a level of service. So I think as long as you execute, and you're willing to do a lot of things that these catering apps are asking you to do, then I think the more you do, the better it's going to get. Like I know Josh has been on catering for a while. Obviously, UDM has been on catering for a while. There's a lot of people who are light years beyond me with catering at this point. So they're killing it. I feel like I'm just getting started. Yeah, Spark is funny. I don't know how else to describe it. Until I can actually see, in my opinion, until I can see a change that I can actually get orders, that's going to be a deciding factor if I can use Spark anymore. There is somebody in the same state as I that's starting to make money again on Spark, and they think that the new terms of service has really helped. And I have not had the same experience, so I think a lot of it has to do with your area and your market and whether it's starting to make a bounce back. But anyway, so guys, that was can you believe it? That was my multi-apping week. Hopefully, before we leave, why don't you guys real quick, tell me how was your week? How much, and it's okay if you're part-time, full-time, be proud of what you guys accomplished last week. Even if it was small, be happy of what you did last week. Be proud. So tell me how much tell me how was your week last week? If there are any apps that you worked, did you work any new apps? I know you couple of you guys said you just got on to Shift or you're gonna start working Shift. Like let's celebrate the wins in these last couple of minutes. Kim, you are humble. You kill it on most apps. You hustle with the best of them. Thank you. Much appreciated. I think that's the thing. And I feel like sometimes, including myself, we all get into that rut, at least in my opinion. And you just have to go out and work, right? Like I I think we're used to I'll call it the good old days. We're talking like 4 years ago. The good old days where money easily came to us and it was very easy to make money on any one of these platforms. Fast forward to today, you have to go out and work. You have to go out and work these apps. Unfortunately, you have to play the games that a lot of these apps are playing at this point in order to make money. If you want to stay in the gig economy and you want to work for yourself and continue to work for yourself, you have to continue to work and you have to continue to adapt. And I think that's, at least in my opinion, how I am able to still make money in this fantastic gig economy that we're in. I like that. Adapt or disappear. I actually I really like that. Hey, Dashing with John, how are you? So, Bud Soda, you don't mind doing setups. Many just want me to sit it there, and that's a quicker one for me. Yeah, I never mind setups. I feel like it's the gift of gab. I always have the gift of gab. Like, I like talking to people. I enjoy interacting with people. It's funny, I walked into a doctor's office today and I saw one of my daughter's teachers from like years ago. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even realize you were here. And it was, it's fun to catch up with people you haven't seen in a while. Uh, Bud Soda, member for 14 months. Congratulations. Thank you for being a member. Kindness is free and pay. Love it. So true. So yeah. So thank you, Bud Soda. Um, I think that's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. Go out, multi-app, go have a fantastic week. Go kill it. Whatever apps you work, whether it is Shipped, whether it is catering, whether it's DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, whatever combination you put in there, go out and kill it and you know, go make go make your money. Go have some fun and go make your money. Um, I hope everybody has an awesome night. Thank you so much for joining me. There are 24 people that are still here. Don't forget to hit that like on the way out. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. So, guys, thank you so much. If you are driving, please stay safe. Remember, kindness is always free. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week or in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Stop believing now. We can be who we are. Receive the word that you heard. It's got groove, it's got meaning. Greece, the time is the place, is the motion.